Howdy-ho, neighborinos. Once again, your ruggedly handsome cybersecurity pal is here to offer up some more goodness. Today's topic is what I'm going to call myths. You know, like, your call is very important to us, and you can't swim for an hour after eating, and no, my politician would never lie to me. But since this is a series on cybersecurity, I want to go over 5 common myths regarding this topic. If you've been watching my prior videos, hint, hint, then some of these you can figure out already. But I think going over these at the very least will help crystallize our thinking on it. And like I've done before, I'll list them in the notes below. Before I begin, however, I need to make it clear that if you believe one or more of these myths, it doesn't mean you're stupid or an idiot. I never want to give that impression. I much prefer the term misinformed. And it's completely understandable that you've fallen for one or more of them. The point of this, for all of this, is to learn and to be more secure, not to make anyone feel like an idiot. Okay, here's myth number 1. I'm not a techie, so I don't need to worry about cybersecurity. Actually, this whole thing I'm doing, starting in 2019 with cybersecurity for seniors, all the way to this video and beyond, is all about fighting this myth. I long for the day when we can take this myth out into a field and stab it in the heart and bury it there. Now, my theory is that this all started by conflating being a techie or IT professional with just keeping yourself safe. I don't believe that you need to be a techie to keep yourself much safer. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And like the old saying goes, you might not care that much about the digital world out there, but I promise you that the bad guys in the digital world care about you. Okay, on to myth number 2. Security is expensive. Well, it can be. When it comes to businesses and government agencies, yeah, it costs some money. That's always a problem in our field. We're kind of like insurance. You pay and you pay and you pay, and you might not see so much of a return on that investment. But when it comes to you as a civilian, no, it doesn't have to cost that much in terms of money. If you took all of my counsel and did everything I advise you to do, you're talking about maybe $20 to $30 a month probably. Now, it will cost you a little bit of time, a little bit of energy, a little bit of research, but as they say, if you think knowledge is expensive, try ignorance. Okay, on to myth number 3. No need to worry about it. I'm secure now. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not the case. Unless you totally go Amish, you'll never be 100% secure against the bad guys. You'll notice that I rarely, if ever, say stuff like secure or safe without a qualifier like more secure or safer. No matter what you do, no matter how careful you are, there's always a non-zero chance that the bad guys will find a way in through something you missed or didn't even know about. Or maybe something that someone else missed or didn't even know about. We live in a very imperfect world filled with imperfect and occasionally really, really bad people. My goal is not to give you perfect security, since I might as well be offering unicorns along with it if I did. My goal is to make you more secure by raising the cost the bad guys have to pay in time and money and effort in getting into your stuff. Okay, on to myth number 4. Obscurity is security. So what do I mean by this phrase? Well, it is a common myth in the business world, and even a lot of IT professionals who ought to know better will act like it's true, even if they don't say it out loud. For example, a business might think something like, well, instead of spending money and time and effort into securing our system better, we're just going to hope that the bad guys don't notice or find us. We're a small operation, so we're not worth noticing. Regrettably, a lot of businesses have found out the hard way that they weren't too small to notice after all, and they paid the price for that. And if you're a civilian, then your version of this might be, I don't have anything the bad guys want. Sure, I have a little money in the bank, but not enough to get them interested in me, right? Well, even if that was true, and it's probably not, let me ask you a question. Do you have a computer? If so, there are bad guys who want to use your computer to initiate attacks against innocent people, or use it for other purposes like mining cryptocurrency. Google it if you're curious. My point is that you are not too small for their notice. And finally, myth number 5. All hackers are bad guys. I will confess that this one in particular does bug me, especially since I'm training right now to become what we call an ethical hacker. I know the word hacker is commonly used for someone in their basement, hunched over their computer, dressed in a hoodie, breaking into banks and doing other nefarious deeds. Let me do a thought experiment with you for a moment. Let me ask you a simple question. Whatever your chosen profession in life, whether it's being a nurse or a teacher or a mechanic or a bank teller or a grocery store clerk or whatever, how accurate is Hollywood's portrayal of your profession? Well, it's the same thing for my profession. A hacker can be what we call a black hat hacker, which is a bad guy who's trying to break into a system he doesn't have permission to get into. There are also white hat hackers, which is what I want to be. A white hat or ethical hacker is also trying to break into a network or computer, but he does so with the full permission of the owner of that system. He's doing it to test out that system's vulnerabilities. He then goes to the owner of that system and outlines for them exactly how he got in, so that it can be more secure against real bad guys. So why am I going into this? Am I just getting hung up on words? No. I'm doing it because it's possible that you have someone in your life who is a techie who can look at your computer and your home network and point out stuff you need to improve on. If so, it might be a good idea to approach them and ask them to take a look at your stuff. Just be considerate if they're doing this for free, okay? Anyway, that's all for now. If you want to be notified when I'm posting a new video, then be sure to click the subscribe and bell buttons below. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and God bless.